Happy New Year, 2026. How awesome is that? Yeah, it's going to be a great year. I'm praying for a great year for everybody. And we are live on the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans and 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast. How cool is that? And we're also being live streamed wherever podcasts live. So we're not hard to find, including my YouTube channel. So go there and subscribe. To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps, fellow experiencers, and brothers and sisters in Christ, welcome. This is Father Shawn's Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Father Shawn Whittington. I'm an ordained Catholic priest with the United States Old Catholic Church. I'm a fully professed brother and abbot for the Old Catholic Benedictines of Immaculate Mary, team member with Society of St. Benedict, and co-founder of GhostBegone.biz. And yeah, I'm that guy on Eli Roth Presents the Legion of Exorcists on Travel Channel, HBO Max. Currently on a bit of a world tour and doing very well, I understand. So that's good news. If there's anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. And if you go there to visit, there's a lot of cool things to see. All my books are there. My online course is there to enroll in. There's a place where you can make an appointment to speak with me about your spiritual issues. And anything you buy off of the website, part of the proceeds go to support St. Jude and the ASPCA. How awesome is that? How beautiful is that? I've been supporting those two organizations, it seems like forever. You get to help some of the neediest children on the planet and the animals too, so that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And what else do I want to tell you guys? I'm God, it feels like I've missed over a month of shows. Um, November and December were really bad health months for me and my wife, so I'm happy to be back. And I missed all of you. I hope you guys missed me. I could feel the love. So many of you reached out to me. Just a lot of people over the past couple of months wanting checking in on me, making sure I'm okay. That probably was the biggest healing medicine for me. So thank you all. You know who you are. Thank you all for um, keeping me in your prayers. So what else do I want to tell you guys? Do you got God? God's important this coming year, trust me. If you'd like to join a church that accepts everybody, and I mean that, accepts everybody, regardless of denomination, reach out, take a look at the United States Old Catholic Church. You might be pleasantly surprised. usocc.org, check it out. We also have a really nice private church group page on Facebook. United States Old Catholic Church Clergy and Parishioners page. You can join it. We accept everybody, and like I said, you might be pleasantly surprised. If you already have a good relationship with God, but you feel a calling to have a closer relationship with Him, reach out to the abbot of the Old Catholic Benedictines of Immaculate Mary. That would be me, and we will discuss this calling of yours. Perhaps the Benedictines are in your future. So here we go, guys. Today is the first show of 2026. It's also a little thing we like to call here First Fridays with Father Shawn and Annette. And the star of the show today is each and every one of you, especially all of you that are watching the live stream and have access to the chat room. This is a Q&A open mic format episode of the show where Annette and I will take questions from the chat room. No topic is off the table, so this is a great day to put Annette's feet to the fire, rake old Father Shawn over the coals on any topic. Plus, I got questions in the mailbag. I got prayers in the prayer urn. So we're going to have fun today. So having said that, it's time to bring out my awesome co-host who covered for me while I was sick and did a great job. I'm so proud of her. She's a lifelong paranormal experiencer. It feels like I've known her forever. I love her and respect her. She's super cool. She's the owner of Stellium Books and my publisher. Please give a big warm Paranormal Ministry family welcome to Annette Munich.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Father Shawn. Really happy to be here. So glad you're back. I was a little worried because we got a little crazy last week, Susan and myself, and I thought that's why you ran back and be like, I better get back over there because when
Hey,
the
I
cat's away, the mice will play. Because we were just but you know what? We had a good time. We had a lot of great comments, and people were enjoying themselves, and we have the best chatters. We always have just a fun group of people. Right now, we've got saying hello to Heidi, Michelle. We've got Kena. We've got Infinite Joy. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. But just, Camilla Rosa's here. She's always a favorite. And we're so happy to have you. And it feels right that you're back. Feels like you've been gone for such a long time.
it does feel like forever. I mean, I got so sick so quick. We all of a sudden had to play a couple of best ofs, which you and Michelle DeRoche chose which ones to play, and they were awesome former episodes. And then the week before last, you had Bobby on, and
Yeah.
you did a great job with him. And then you and Susan did a great job last week. So I'm proud of you and thank you for stepping in. It is what it is. I don't wish what I went through on my worst enemy, and I don't think I have any enemies. Thank you, Jesus. But yeah, just the flu and a weird infection in my leg that wasn't responding to treatment, and a weird TMI, a weird rash all over that they didn't know what that was, which wasn't responding to any treatment. It's just a funky situation. I don't know what people are thinking. Father Shawn, were you under attack? I'm not gonna go on the record and say I was under attack, although I will say during all of this, paranormal activity really spiked here in the home, and I took your advice. You said, you know what you're doing when it comes to this, Father Shawn, but why don't you start, fighting back on a spiritual level? So I started smudging, cleansing, blessing my home, Sharon and I, every single day, about a month into this whole ordeal, and it did make a big difference. So, like I said, this coming year is going to be a big year for everybody who is of faith and maybe got a little away from their faith for a while. This is a great time to come back to it. Um, and so I have my prediction for 2026. It's going to be a great year. And I will stay in constant prayer for that as a Benedictine and world peace and all that good stuff. So there you have it. How are you doing? How was your Christmas?
We got Miss Camilla Rosa saying Happy New Year blessings from Denmark, and Happy New Year blessings to you, and from us to everyone. And hope everyone had just a lovely holiday season. I did. I had lovely holidays. I worked. I've been busy, but that's good. So, and I did two collaborations, and I'll mention the newest book right now. The Kindle's available, and the paperback is starting to come through. It's already past review, and so it takes a little while for it to show up on the page, and audiobook and hardcover. And we have a horror book, Hauntings 5 Vampires, and
Cool.
it's fiction. And for all of our listeners in New Orleans, it's set in New Orleans.
Very
And
cool.
it's a very scary read. It's by James Baxter, and that is on Amazon. Right now, the Kindle's available, but within 24 hours, all of the versions should be available. And so that is just coming through today. But very cool that it's set in New Orleans. So a vampire story, and they're not your um, ruffly shirt Brad Pitt kind of vampires. No, these are scary, very scary types.
Near
Not
dark
like
type
vampires.
vampires. Did you see that movie? That was one of my favorite all time vampire movies, Near Dark.
I did not.
You should look. It's a now it's a cult classic, and there's some big stars in that movie that are no longer with us. May they rest in
Oh,
peace. But it's a really different vampire movie, and just really, really, you would enjoy it. You should, especially with your new vampire book that's out.
I
Check
love
that out. Called
vampires.
Near Dark. And speaking of authors, next Friday, the 9th, January 9th, we have a paranormal authority and enthusiast and critically acclaimed paranormal author on. Maxim Furyk will
Oh,
be here next
lovely.
Friday the 9th. So, guys,
That's
don't.
exciting.
It is. It
And
is.
that's someone new. I will say, I give a lot of credit while you were gone too. I had just shows with just easy, great people to talk to. I was familiar with them from before. It was very easy. It's, just like get kick the ball and get it rolling, and the show takes on a life of its own. And I'm talking about Susan. I'm talking about Bobby Gallo. They're wonderful.
Yep, absolutely. Everybody that contributed to the book that you and I recently put out, Help, I'm Haunted, um, they all did just a phenomenal job. I'm so proud of each and every one of the contributors that were a part of that too. So, yeah, Bobby's a great, that, you know, God bless him for, you know, I didn't know we were going to do two shows, but you were game, and both of our guests for those 2 weeks that I couldn't be here were game, and you guys did a great job. I'm just like I said, I'm just proud of you guys. So thank you very much for that. Um,
You're welcome. I was hoping I wasn't in trouble. I was hoping that this wasn't. I better get back there. Things are unraveling fast.
no, no, not at all. I like I said, it's I almost couple of times I almost just showed up anyhow, and if I couldn't make it, I couldn't make it through the show. But that's not cool to do either. So I needed to just concentrate on getting better, and then I couldn't wait to come back. I really missed you and our followers and doing this, and I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
doing this a long time, so I miss it. It felt like I'd been gone forever. Um, so it is.
Everyone missed you. Everyone asked about you. And it was sad that it seemed like you were sick from Thanksgiving all the way through to the end of the year. And that really is
I
just,
had some issues going on that I didn't even tell you about. Probably the last couple of shows I actually did with you. Um, I was fighting through some things. It was just really a weird, just a weird winter so far for me, and as far as health goes. And it's important for people to take care of your health, man. Because if you don't got your health, you really don't got anything. And so that's really important. So I
right.
feel for everybody out there right now that's battling any kind of sickness. My prayers go out to them. So,
And how
anything in particular? Excuse me. Here we go again. I got to be careful now. I'm on some really strong prescription strength cough medicine because before I got sick, I was already from like a couple of years back. I had what my doctor referred to as long term COVID cough. And so I was already battling that. And then the flu, this last bout of flu that I had, really did a number on me. And I'm on some really strong prescription strength cough medicine, which has me a little loopy. So it might be a good thing. But it just kind of keeps me from going into these uncontrollable coughing fits that once they get going, you can't stop them. And
yeah.
so it is what it is. But
We got,
like I told everybody in the chat room, do we have any questions? Because this is
we
basically
do have a question, and we have Shirley Wood. Hi, Shirley, saying hello from Southern Ontario, Canada. And
Shirley.
we have Infinite Joy asking about other paranormal podcasts. And I must say that there are a lot of great podcasts and good programming here on UPRN Talk Radio. And if you go to Michelle DeRoche's show, Beyond the Outer Realm, you might bump into me. I'm there a lot in the chat room. Very interesting content. And there's other shows. Carol Ann Ayadarola. She's on right before us. And I think she does 2 shows a week. And then after us, we have Spirit Switchboard. But there's a lot of great programming.
I would
Um,
recommend for her just to go to the www.uprntalkradio.com, all one word. Go there and you'll see the list of all of the
yes,
network shows. Like I don't think there's a, you know, what else am I going to say? But I'm this is heartfelt. There's not a bad show on that network. Um, I mean that's how I honestly feel. I've watched them all at one time or another, and that would be her best bet. Go to the network's website, check out the shows, and uh, and just you'll enjoy them all.
right. There was a very interesting lady I was on. I was not on. I was at Michelle's show, Outer Realm, hanging out and chatting. She had a lady that I want to introduce to you because she was talking all kinds of paranormal incidents and lore right where you live in Las Vegas. And so I got connected up with her on Facebook, and I said, when you're better, that you might really enjoy meeting her and having her on the show.
Cool, very cool. Yeah, absolutely. You know me, I love people. I love meeting people, and
Well, it's cool because it's from your area too. She was talking about a lot of really interesting stuff. She was very good. I feel bad because I can't exactly remember. Hold on. I'll pop over here. I'll see what her name is. C.L. Thomas. C.L. Thomas is her
you know
name.
what? We
Do,
may.
do you
She's
know
coming
her?
on. She's here in 2 weeks. She's going to be our guest on January 23rd.
Is that just by happenstance or
I don't know. It might be because of you. I don't know.
'cause I said that we probably couldn't schedule her until you got well, but I did say that I thought that she'd be a great guest and you'd find her super interesting. And
I'll send her a note
she
after the
also
show
does a
today, make sure
show.
we're okay.
I have to plug her now. She also does a show on UPRN.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, Heidi says, C.L. Thomas, the Gateway Podcast. Thank you. Thank you, Heidi. I think it's Wednesday night. But anyway, at the website, you can see everything. Like right now, when we're on YouTube, it's just showing this one show. But when you're at the website or if you listen at the station, you can listen continuously and it's not just isolated episodes like we're presenting here because of YouTube.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I did you have a good Christmas and did you have a good New Year and did you make any resolutions?
Um, you know what? I did something kind of interesting. I'm really proud of myself. Other people, maybe this is not a big deal, but I wanted to go into the new year and feel like I went through a lot of my old stuff, and I went through this bag that I've had for forever, and this box that if you would have asked me to name 5 things in there, I couldn't do it. But I've been tossing things in there like almost like a junk drawers. I went through these things and I felt like I'm going into the new year fresh and organized and not dragging a lot of old stuff with me. It felt really good to do that. I've been putting that off forever. But I mean, like I said, if you would have said, Annette, name 5 things in that bag, it would be like, first with me because I'm a book dork, pens and automatic pencils. That's in everything I carry around with me. So I could have guessed those things, but there was just stuff. So I lightened up and went through things and got rid of it, put it someplace else if it deserved to be someplace else. So my thing that I did was get a little bit more organized and quit dragging around a lot of old things that you don't even know what it is. You just, it, to me, that felt kind of like a big deal, like making room, making space for new things in my life. And I don't have to drag this stuff around with me that I don't really use or even know what it is.
Sharon and I are planning to do that too, probably next summer, having a like we don't live in an estate, but an estate sale, if you will. And we're going to just concentrate on a garage sale mainly because you open up my garage door, it's just wall to wall, ceiling to floor stuff. And a lot of it, I know we need to just get rid of and sell or even give away, if you will. So we're going to do that this coming summer. You open up the door in the kitchen that leads to the garage, and we have a little path that goes to a door that takes you to the backyard, and a little path that Sharon can walk to the washer and dryer, and that's it. You can't move around in there. There's so much stuff. So we're going to plan on doing that because I know that stuff, we're not hoarders. It just life happens,
Accumulates.
and
Yeah.
that helps a lot to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah. And those kind of things, that's stuff that I always put off until I have to feel good, be caught up on everything else. And, that day never seems to arrive. But it's kind of funny if I pull apart a closet and clean it out, even if I don't put a lot of the stuff back in there, I still can't fit it back in. So um, somehow that's kind of an issue with me. But we have Miss Camilla Rosa, if you want to take a question.
Sure.
She said, last night I had a dream that I was in a building where a satanic mass took place. I was in a room above it. Also, insects, and she has in parentheses, unclean spirits. Any input on what that dream could mean?
Well, I'm going to start Camilla, and I know Camilla very well. She's one of my star students, took my course on my website, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare, graduated with flying colors, and she's quite a gifted woman in her own right, spiritually. This isn't one of your books, so I apologize, but I'm going to hold it up anyhow. Camilla, you need to get this book, The Big Dictionary of Dreams. I'm in this book a lot, and it's helped me a lot. Sharon and I both, go figure, because of what we do, we both suffer from night terrors. And so I would have to say, start with that. But, I've had, Camilla has issues with dreams. I've had this conversation with her before. A lot of people just disregard dreams. I don't think you should do that, especially if they're reoccurring or they leave you feeling very troubled. Um, you need to confront what's stemming from these dreams. And anytime you have a dream where you think it's a malevolent in nature, demonic, um, night terror type stuff. I don't know if your dream, Camilla, was on the night terror level, but those are to be. You should be concerned about that sort of stuff, and talking about it's very healthy. So I don't really know. I'm not an expert on the dreams. I would get the Big Dictionary of Dreams. There's also, like, I was talking to a gentleman the other day who's a near-death experiencer. He didn't know that there was a large website, um, an online support group, if you will, for near-death experiencers. There's many of those support groups for people that suffer night terrors or have a lot of recurring troublesome dreams of a malevolent or demonic nature, um, type stuff. So I would look into those types of stuff. But Camilla, you and I have had this discussion before. You're a bit of a target because you're spiritually gifted. Just keep strong in your faith. Keep blessing, cleansing, smudging your home and the property right around your house and just stay strong. But get into a support group if you could for that. I know you're a bit of a recluse yourself. Uh, See if you can find a nice online support group when it comes to that type of stuff. It might do you a world of good. And I know you've had some issues with that too, Annette.
I've had dreams where I felt like my connection to the paranormal and to spirit was real. I've had dreams where ended up being deja vu. But I also would say that my best advice, one thing that I do, I don't watch scary or read scary things late at night because I tend to have it. And I can't sleep with the TV on because I will start dreaming about whatever is on there. If it's sirens, now I'm dreaming about fire trucks. It goes into my dreams, so I can't do that. Also, my number one thing, and I do this every night, Archangel Raphael, please let me sleep in a bubble of your healing and protection. And I haven't had anything that felt threatening or really horrible for a long time. I've had some stuff unsettling or weird, but not something where I wake up like, and I used to get that. So that's a prayer I say every night, the last thing before I go to sleep. Archangel Raphael, please let me sleep in a bubble of your healing and protection with God's permission. I ask in Jesus' name. And go to sleep protected. So that's my best advice on that.
Good advice. That's the same with Sharon. We can't watch. We can watch a horror movie, if you will, and we don't watch many of them. But that has to be done like on her day off in the middle of the afternoon, and then I've got to make sure that same day later on, like a couple hours before I know she's going to go to bed, find some comedy on and
Yeah,
watch a nice comedy, or even go to EWTN and watch some Catholic programming or something
yeah,
like that to totally like refire her
you're
brainwave,
right. Yeah.
get them in a different direction.
And we got our happy Sasquatch recurring guest, Carl Supp, is here saying, hey, everybody, Happy New Year. And we're so glad to see you, Carl. And Carl also is an experiencer and very adept at all different types of paranormal, not just Sasquatch, but we usually have him on and talk a lot about that. He did some cute AI pictures of you. We could have
I know
told
I was just about to bring
everybody.
that up. I That was the one thing I didn't do in when I posted the picture was thank Carl for the picture. But everybody, a lot of people have been reaching out to me saying, "Did you do that picture?" I'm all, "No, my buddy Carl Supp put that together, and he did some other ones that I haven't
Yeah,
posted yet." But yeah,
we
I
could have
posted that
told everybody you were on a squatching retreat
in
with
my in
your
the snow in my slippers.
slippers and your coffee
Yeah,
and Bigfoot peeking behind the tree. And he actually had one with you and Bigfoot both in Santa hats. It was really cute and well done.
I'll post them all later after the show because everybody should see them. They're excellent. They made me laugh and they really put me in a good mood that day that I saw them. So that was very very cool. Like I said, that's all part of healing, man. People like Carl reaching out to me and doing something simple like that really boosted my mood that
Oh,
day.
yeah,
Well,
for sure.
listen, if you want to, I know I probably have at least one or two prayers in the prayer urn. I know there's some questions in the mailbag. You want to go to the mailbag?
Sure. Remember the last time we went to the mailbag, we got that really creepy case um, with that guy with the haunted attic. And he lived right off the coast and connection to pirates. And that was really crazy. That was really interesting.
All righty, we have Bet in Florida. Hi, Bet.
Like that.
She says, I had an encounter with a black eyed entity. It appears as a grown man hitchhiking. I stopped to pick him up, and he walked up alongside the right side of my car and then vanished. I looked back, and he was gone. I turned back around and he was there, bent over, staring at me through my driver window. That's scary.
Very
His
scary.
eyes were solid black. I gunned it and peeled out. I
Good
never looked
choice.
back. This happened in broad daylight on a road that I frequently travel. I'm scared to death to travel on that road now.
Yeah,
Have you heard of this happening in daytime or any time? And any advice would be great. Um, Bet, that is very scary.
very scary.
I don't have any advice other than don't be afraid. If that's a road you travel on frequently, don't be afraid. Continue to travel that road. And as big hearted of a person as I feel you are wanting to stop for a hitchhiker, now just don't do it any longer. As bad as it may feel, if you see a hitchhiker on that road, don't stop. Just go. That is scary. I don't know what religious belief system you have in place. If you're Christian or Catholic, bless your car. Um, and just be very, very careful, especially if now that you've encountered this entity, if it appears around your home, that should be of great concern. So, it reminds me of a time I'm talking about, I mean, I probably was still in high school, and me and a couple of friends took a road trip up California Pacific Coast Highway. We were going to go ghost hunting at the Hearst Castle,
Oh,
and we stopped for a female hitchhiker, and we all three of us witnessed her walking up behind the car, and right as she got to the car, was just gone.
well,
But we don't, she wasn't close enough for us to see. It was frightening enough for us to turn around and head home and decide not to go to the Hearst Castle. So those things happen. These ghostly apparitions, roadside apparitions. Um, just be careful. Um, I would say a prayer before taking any road trip or traveling around, and have your car blessed, and just don't stop for any hitchhikers. And if this entity appears at your home, reach out to me. I'm not hard to find. I got the website, the YouTube channel. I got a Facebook page. Lawrence Maurice is an old stage name. That's my profile on Facebook. Email. You can reach out to me and we'll talk about it if it shows up at your home. But that's scary.
that's very scary and a couple of different things. And I think that we mentioned this in the book, Help Me, I'm Haunted. Um, there's
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
and also that people, that you have a conditioned thing to think everything comes out at night and goes away in the daytime, kind of like vampires, like we were speaking of vampires earlier. But things that are haunted at night, are haunted in the daytime too. And
You had a roadside apparition too, you and your daughter.
yes, in fact, I've had two like that. Uh, Um, the one I could say them very quickly, but we came around a curve in the road, and I do sometimes experience things, and it's because of sensitivity. So I said to my daughter, if I just saw something, do you want me to tell you? And she said, I saw it too. And we knew it was a ghost because it was a man with a plaid shirt on, but he looked normal except he had no legs at all. And another time long ago, we were driving by the woods and we saw a lady appear in the middle of the street and freaked out thinking we were going to hit her and she was gone. But, be proactive. Don't be scared. The Archangel Michael prayer, ask him to bless the road, ask him to bless your car. Start. I think maybe, is this naive to think they stop picking on you as much if you're going to be praying for blessings on everything? Because you're actually become difficult and you're just supposed to be afraid and cower and worry that something's going to happen and not be proactive and talk about taking it back.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
And also, no hitchhikers in 2026, people. Those days are gone. You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can make a phone call and, call and say, hey, somebody out here, they look like they need help. But I'm sad to say that. I've called the police for people I've seen on the side of the road, but especially me by myself as a woman, I can't stop.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
someone was laying there bleeding to death, maybe, but you just can't. You just let strangers in your car anymore in 2026. I think.
Well, Bet, I will add you to my prayer list, and please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Annette if this happens to you again and it's a recurring and becomes frequent. That's of concern. Or if
Yeah,
this entity shows up at your home. But yeah, me and Annette are both in agreement on blessing your car, praying before you travel, and but don't be scared. Yeah, and you've heard this 1,000 times on 1,000 shows and 1,000 podcasts from 1,000 people like Annette and I. They feed off your fear,
right,
and that's true. They do.
right,
So it's hard not to be afraid. I get afraid.
right,
Everybody gets afraid, but you gotta fight through it, and it
right,
helps. It helps.
right.
Okay, I got another question here. This is from Joan in Iowa. Hi, Joan.
Hi, Joan.
I recently bought and moved into an old farm with my family. Several families lived here before us. As with most farms, there have been many animals around. A couple of family members, myself included, have seen spirit animals here. Is that something we should be concerned about? Please advise. Hmm.
I'm not sure what she means by spirit yet. Well, okay, so
Probably
she
has
said
seen
ghosts.
animals and they knows that they're not real,
Yeah,
whether it be
ghost
farm
animal.
animals or a cat or a dog or cow or a horse or whatever. Yeah.
I think like if you went around and you blessed your property, prayed over it, and buried, I would suggest a blessed medal, particularly Archangel Michael medals or Saint Benedict, in the four corners of your property. That might stop it if it's bad. If it doesn't stop it, then you have just spirit around you. Um, I mean, I think that doing that would make me worry less if I did a blessing and buried blessed medals in the four corners. What do you think?
I agree 100%. Um, I'm getting this. She didn't mention it in her letter. And Joan, if you'd like to reach out to me also, please do, and we can talk about this. I'm sensing um, Joan may also be wondering, like many people are fearful if they see a child apparition. Many people think that's a red flag, and usually child ghosts are not what they appear to be. They're not really the ghost of a
Yeah,
child. I disagree. I think you can encounter spirits of children, but many times it is something to fool you, to make you let your guard down and not worry about it. And it's uh, rooted and more malevolent in
yeah,
nature, these apparitions. I think she's probably also wondering about that in terms of animals. Is a spirit animal, can it be demonic? Can it be malevolent in nature? Or is it really nothing to fear? Same thing with the animals. I have encountered them both. Even in the house here, 20, 25 years ago when Sharon and I moved into this, everybody knows we live in a haunted house, but when we moved into this house, we moved in with three mastiffs. And since when they all went on to heaven, we got two more mastiffs. And they have recently, it's been a few years now since our last mastiff has gone to heaven. But we still keep their kennels up. I still put fresh water in their kennels, and every once in a while at the market buy a fresh chew bone and bring it home and toss them in the kennels. We keep our doggy door um, open in the back of the house. We had this one mastiff. named Henry, who was a 200-pound Brindle Mastiff. As big as he was stealthy like a ninja. He would move around, you wouldn't even hear him. And Sharon would, every morning, she would be getting ready for work, and she would be, bent over the sink, right up against her mirror, putting her makeup on. He would stealthily move into the bathroom, and he would stick his nose in her butt and would launch her. And that was just a routine he did to kind of say, "Good morning. I know you're getting ready to go to work. I'm going to miss you. See you when you get back." That still happens to her to this day, and Henry's been gone for years. So I, I was a veterinary technician. Sharon is still an office manager at an animal hospital, but I was a veterinary technician for 20 years. And we had a woman come to us once that she took care of this lady's cat and took care of this lady who was elderly next. And she had to take the cat in, who was really sick, to the animal hospital. And the cat passed away there, but they locked eyes at the last moment before the cat passed away. And then shortly after that, the woman passed away. And then the lady started seeing and hearing the cat in her home. And it would be, she could hear it run across the floor, jump up on a nightstand, then jump on the bed, and she could see the feet prints in the comforter or bedspread. And she could hear the cat lay down on the pillow next to her and hear it purring. She wasn't scared, but she was concerned this cat needs to move on. And so me and Sharon and I got this crazy idea. We were giving tours at the time of a haunted pet cemetery, of all places, here in town. And we told the lady, "Is she following you everywhere?" She goes, "Yeah, she gets in the truck with me, follows me to the market, everywhere." So I said, "Well, get in the truck, meet us at the pet cemetery." And there's so many spirit animals running around there. We just thought the cat will make some friends and just stay there. And when the lady goes home, the cat will stay at the pet cemetery. Well, it didn't work. The cat did follow her to the pet cemetery. Um, but after we walked around and did whatever we did, and then blessed her truck and tried to get the cat to move on, it didn't. It ended up, she called us before she even got home from her truck and said, "It's in the truck still." So it didn't work, but we tried.
It
But I
was a
don't,
good idea.
yeah, we didn't know what else to do. The
Yeah.
lady, like I said, the lady wasn't scared. But, you know, uh, spirit animals are not to, there's nothing to fear of them
It,
unless everybody needs to, you're your best piece of paranormal equipment. Tap into your own senses. If your spidey senses are up, you got the goosebumps on the back of your neck and on your arms, and your hairs are standing up, and you are getting this overwhelming, foreboding feeling of this apparition you've seen of an animal, then you need to be aware of that, and be cautious. But if you don't get that feeling at all, then don't worry about it, because it can just be just a harmless apparition of just an animal. Like, I was at the Highland Games here at a park here in Vegas. Sharon and I went there, and some lady that I didn't even know walked up to me and said, "You don't know me, and and I don't know what you do, but I'm a psychic medium, and I didn't let on who I was or what I did, but I just, yeah." And I just had to come up to you because I've never seen anybody walking around that had as many spirit animals following them as I that are following you.
wow.
And because I can't remember never not having a dog in my life,
Yeah.
all my life from being a little kid. So that made my day. I'm like, I know I'm going to see him again in heaven.
Yeah.
And if who's the famous author that said, um, "If there's no animals in heaven, I want to go where the animals are," or something like that. I know the quote. I'm not getting the quote right.
I don't really know, but I've always thought it was curious how many people. Well, first of all, when you said spirit animal, my brain went to Native American spirit animals. I wasn't thinking ghost. For some reason, when I heard that, I went right into Native American. This animal means this represents that. So I just didn't click with it immediately. But I think it's amazing how many people think there's human ghosts, but there wouldn't be any animal ghosts. And there are so many animal stories. And why wouldn't there be? Animals are energy. I guess you could think that only humans have souls. I,
Pure love and
yeah,
unconditional love. So for them, for it's easy to imagine that the spirit, that the animal spirit of an animal that you raised from, being a puppy all the way through to the time where you had to say goodbye, might want to stay attached to you afterwards.
right.
Totally reasonable.
Right. And, if you look at it from the right light, if you do a blessing and you're still seeing things, then they're coming around and it's actually a validation that, our pets don't die either. They just go into another state of being and they still love you and they're still around you. And that could be a source of comfort. Um,
Healing, yes, yes. I'm still not healed over the passing of my last mastiff, and that's why Sharon and I, every day, not a day goes by where somebody doesn't try to give us a dog, because they know how we are, and they know Sharon is still working in the animal care field. But I'm just not over it. I'm healing, but I don't want to go through that pain anymore, and so that's why we haven't got another pet. But Sharon laughs at me when I even bring this up, because we contribute to it also. It is a part of healing. And if that's what you need to do to heal, God bless you. But I mean, we have all of our animals as ashes are here in the house. And to keep their kennels still up and to be bringing new chew toys home for them and fill their water bowl up. And I even got a bowl in the kitchen that's got a little dog food in there. To do that, I'm contributing to it anyway. So, uh,
I
but it's
think
all part of healing.
I think my opinion on that for what it's worth, and you live your life and do what you want. But because I've also had many, many pets, especially dogs, and I was a breeder of Boston Terriers for a few years, and just love the dogs and training them and all of that. There is the pain of death that exists whether you get another dog or not. It doesn't really go away. It's a new chapter in your book. And somewhere out there, maybe there's a dog that needs a rescue and could be good for you, and you could be very good for them because it's just there. I mean, I can think of dogs that I lost years ago and get like really, it's just, it's there. It's just there. It's not going to go away, but you still have love to give. And there's other dogs that also have love to give, and maybe they're in a bad situation.
Yeah, I can't even watch those commercials that come on. Like I support the ASPCA, but if their commercial comes on, I get to the remote really quickly and switch the station. I can't watch them um, to just watch that type of suffering, because uh, and I mean, Sharon and I may get over it, but um, it's rough. It's rough. So when people come to me and they're really grieving over the loss of an animal, I am totally not like the loss of a child, but yes, to
Yeah,
many
but
people it is, because they're
well,
family.
the thing of it is, what people that aren't animal people don't get, and no, it's not like the loss of a child, but in their own way, some of the dogs that I had, they got up with me in the morning. They slept in my bedroom at night. We took the kids to school together in the minivan. We like did our whole day together. So no, they're not a person, but they're a constant companion. And always there for you. When you're happy, they're happy. When you're sad, they're there. They're just so you lose like a big chunk out of your daily life and your daily routine, and realize all of the companionship and comfort you got from that animal. And I've had some really smart dogs. I've had dogs I had to spell around. They knew what was going on.
Yep.
They're like, "You're spelling cookies, aren't you?" Very smart, very, very plugged in, and just so devoted. They're all about family. Family is everything to them. And so, it's a different kind of love than a human. But my gosh, if you have an animal for a while and they are with you from the moment you get up, and even after you go to sleep, would have I would let the dog sleep in my room for sure. I would.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I
I
let
couldn't
them
get into
sleep
bed
on
with
the bed.
Sharon when we had the 2 or 3 mastiffs here. I couldn't get into bed with Sharon because they were in the bed with her. I had to sleep in a recliner alongside the bed because I couldn't get in bed. If you didn't get in bed before them, you ain't getting in bed.
That's
And
why
you got
I
six
stopped.
hundred pounds of animal in bed with your wife. You can't get into bed.
I stopped
Um,
letting them sleep in the bed because of that, and made them a place to sleep because my dogs tend to take their half out of the middle. So you either sleep and hug this edge or hug this edge because they're right in the middle, and snoring and whatnot, and not upset at all that you're trying to make them move. So um, we have a comment from Heidi. It's been hanging here for a minute. Oh, intriguing. I see bigger Egyptian looking cats here that really aren't here. And, I think she's talked about that before. That's very interesting that she has that. And I don't know if there's like some kind of a story connected to that or what she's ever found out about that. Strange about Egyptian cats, right? Um, very interesting.
Very interesting.
We
Well,
had,
listen, we got 2:53 here Pacific time.
oh,
Um,
wow.
I should probably check the prayer urn real quick before we run out of time.
Okay,
What do you think?
that went so fast. It's the fastest hour of the week. It really is.
What do we got here today? Bob in Canada. Canada!
Hi, Bob.
I'm that typical older person that gets to a certain age and starts to think I better get good with God. Yep. I am a baptized Catholic, but it has been many, many years since I practiced my faith. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Please say a prayer for me and light a candle too. God bless Bobby. Bobby, this you're a baptized Catholic. This is going to be simple. This is an easy one. Find a Catholic church near you. Start going to confession, attending mass, receive communion. Um, do I have one nearby here that I can show you? Get yourself a nice Catholic book of prayers. Start saying some prayers in the morning. Start saying some prayers at night. You'd be amazed what that will do for you. And keep me posted on your journey. I'd like to know how your journey back will be. And the prayer I'm going to say for you, um, this is great. I get a chance to say one of my favorite prayers from the St. Benedict prayer book.
Oh, lovely.
And this is a prayer called Searching for God. And I offer up this prayer for Bobby in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. O Lord, my God, teach my heart this day where and how to see you, where and how to find you. You have made me and remade me, and you have bestowed on me all the good things I possess, and still I do not know you. I have not yet done that for which I was made. Teach me to seek you, for I cannot seek you unless you teach me, or find you unless you show yourself to me. Let me seek you in my desire. Let me desire you in my seeking. Let me find you by loving you. Let me love you when I find you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I offer up that prayer for Bobby in Canada. And let me light a candle for you, Bobby. This candle will burn until it's done burning. I'll put it after the show in my room full of candles. and it'll burn until it's done, Bobby. I light
That
this
prayer is
candle for
just
Bobby
beautiful.
in Canada, and my prayer for Bobby is to God send the Holy Spirit down to enter and intervene in Bobby's life and remain with him on this journey and on to the next. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit.
Very, very beautiful.
Okay, there we go. We took care of the prayers. We took care of the mailbag. We got a couple of minutes left before I have to kick you out of here. Anything you just really want the people to know before we go?
Um, I'm just so happy that you're back. Really missed you. And again, so sincere when we say that we wish everybody a bright and happy and healthy and prosperous, abundant, and, I think touched by spirit, New Year, try to stay positive and have some enthusiasm and a good attitude. Just like with the spirit world, don't let other things drag you down. Um, I think that that's important because it's really easy to be victimized when you're in a bad mental state and you feel like you're depressed or just don't care anymore or whatever.
Absolutely. Um, on that note, I love you. Uh, I pray for you all the time. Thank you for stepping in for me and holding down the fort for the last 2 weeks. And I will see you next Friday on the 9th, which will be Maxim Furyk, a paranormal authority and enthusiast and critically acclaimed paranormal author. Maxim Furyk will be here next Friday. So have a wonderful, wonderful remainder to your Friday evening, Annette. And God bless you. And we talk all the time during the week between shows. So if you need to reach out to me, go for it. But other than that, I'll see you next Friday.
We'll be back next Friday. Everybody have a great night and a great rest of your weekend and a great 2026. Thank you.
Good night, Annette. Annette Munich, Stellium Books. If you want to write a book but haven't got started yet, reach out to her. She'll help you with that. If you've already written a book and you need to get it published, reach out to her. She does that. She'll help you with that. So I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in because I don't have a show without you guys. Thank you to United Public Radio Network for broadcasting the show, Joe Montaldo, Michelle DeRoche. Um, uh, much, much, much thanks. Heartfelt thanks. Stay tuned for Spirit Switchboard with Carrie Lynn Shellhorn. We're just getting started here on High Strangeness Fridays. And guys, 2026, try your very best to make it the best year yet of your life because you're all in my prayers, and I'll continue to pray for you for all of that. On that note, remember, guys, we may have done what the devil said we did, but we are not who the devil says we are. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. I love you all. God bless you all in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Peace.